Alright guys, thanks very much. This is part 2 of my horror DVD and Blu-ray haul. Sorry for that, I thought I had my phone charged, but the plug was undone in the box I have to keep it protected. Must have been pulled out, so I was charging it thinking, why the fuck hasn't it been charging? And it wasn't plugged in. So I finally got it all plugged in, it's all set to go. So screw it, let's get on to part 2. First off, we have the Mexican Horror Classics double feature with it's called the Body Snatchers, and I'm not going to pronounce this one, El Escopolado. Oh, some cool Mexican horror. Sign me up. I was like trying to get some of that horror from around the world. You know, can't just keep it in one area. Gotta keep it all over the place. All right, the next up is from Meridian Releasing Group. It's called the MRG Collective Horror Volume 8. Now, I have one of the volumes somewhere. This one caught my attention with, it's got a Christmas Nightmare, and the other one that really caught me was called Nightmare on Sesame Street. I gotta watch that. That just sucked me in, and it's got a bunch of other shorts on here as well. One is called The Barber. A couple other ones are in some foreign languages, so I have no clue how to pronounce them or what they translate to. So yeah, we'll see how these are. Yeah, I gotta watch that Nightmare on Sesame Street. That just sounds fucking fun. Oh, let's put that over here. Actually, we'll just slide that here. All right, next from Scream Factory. The Night Creatures. This is cool. I also bought this DVD a while back, and I'm glad I held off. This has a reversible slipcover right there, in color. I think this is Hammer, if I remember correctly. It's got Peter Cushing in it. So, I want to say yes, this has definitely a Hammer horror flick. One I have not seen, so I can't wait to dive into Nightmare Creatures. Let me know, guys, if you've seen this one or not. All right, next are some upgrades. I had this on an old DVD, and the DVD was just real bad. So I grabbed the 2-disc version of Nosferatu, the original, from Kino Lorber. Figured finally upgrade it. Come on, Matt. And I did upgrade my old Anchor Bay of Nosferatu, the Vampire with Klaus Kinski. So getting those upgraded to Blu-ray. I'm keeping the old Anchor Bay DVD for sure. And I gotta keep the old Nosferatu disc because it has the illegal typo negative music to it. They weren't supposed to have it on there, and of course they put it out anyway. So it's kind of a cool little collector's item. So those are definitely keepers. All right, another UFO documentary called On the Trail of UFOs, Night Visitors. It's kind of a cool cover. This is based on the Small Town Monsters. They do a bunch of horror documentaries on different cryptids, Bigfoot, UFOs. They did a whole bunch of other ones. So I figured these I've been watching have been really interesting to watch. So yeah, did their Kickstarter. And you can go on their website, Small Town Monsters, and you can find a bunch of their stuff already there from their website to pick up. All right, I did it. I bought the Phenomena big, thick box set. This is the 4K. It has the poster in it. It's got the different cuts to it as well. I have the old original Arrow releasing of this movie, and that one is actually hard to find too because that version, I guess, was caught in a fire, and a lot of them were destroyed, so they got them re-released. But that was the original release, so I got to keep that one there, and I'm keeping this for sure. Soon I'll get a 4K DVD and player, but when I do, I will be definitely watching this in 4K. But right now my TV's fine, my Blu-ray player is fine. I would do an unboxing, but there's so many videos on there. So yeah, I'll throw that over here for now. Next up we have is Phobia. This is put up by another Kino Lorber. This one's going out of print, guys. So if you checking their website. They're putting certain films they're not getting to keep anymore, so they're going to be losing their rights. So who knows who will be getting this. So I definitely recommend grabbing this, about a doctor who's doing experiments on a bunch of people. They're all dying based on different phobias. All right. That sounded really cool, so I'll definitely give that one a watch. Be a first-time watch. So I heard it's going out of print. Speaking of, I think it is out of print or not through Criterion. I found it at Soundgarden. I figured I'll fucking buy it. Why not? And it's one of those ones that's not really a horror film, but it's very twisted. It's got a very dark to it. It's a pretty fucked up movie. And that is Sallow, the 120 Days of Sodom. Yeah, so I think I'll be eating some chocolate pudding or chocolate ice cream while watching this movie. If you know what that means, you know what I'm talking about. So yeah, it's one of those movies I thought I would never own. I figured I'm not going to buy it. But I think it's out of print. So I figured, well, I'll add it to the collection. Yeah, who knows. All right, next up we have is Scream, the 5th Scream installment. And I got to say it was good. I liked some of the stuff. Some of the stuff was a little cliche. But I gotta say thank you for finally, I've been asking for this for a while through the 4 movies. It's like, come on. You had the same 3 people going through the same routine, going after them, and they all survive. It's like, always. I'm like, all right, maybe they'll kill one of them off in the later on films. Nope. They finally killed off one of the major characters. I'm not telling you who. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. Thank you, because I've been wanting that for a while. Ugh. It takes 5 movies to do it. And I heard they're doing another Scream movie, so we'll see how that plays off. I don't know. All right, the next one is from Pumpkin Patch Pictures. I don't make this shit up. And it's called the Slasher Double Feature. It's Death Row and San Francisco. These are some low-budget Z-grade slashers. It's got some names to it. Let's see. They got one of the. What is their names? Kind of hard to see. Like one of the cousin Estevez there, who's always in low-budget movies, and it's got like what's his name? Oh yeah, it's got Todd Bridges in there. Todd Bridges hasn't been in anything much lately, which is I find kind of odd. But yeah, I figured this was cheap. Why not? Joe Estevez. So Joe Estevez. He's been in a lot of weird low budget horror films. So now we got 2 slasher double features. Like one's about a prison guards and prisoners who clean up a jail, and they're all getting picked off one at a time. And I guess the other one is a psychopath in San Francisco. All right. Another anthology we have is the Tales of Frankenstein. Different stories for Frankenstein, pretty much. So I figured, the trailer looks really cool. So I figured I'll pick this one up. I like the artwork on it. And from 2018. So yeah, Tales of Frankenstein. That'd be some Frankie movies. The Frankenstein monster movies. From Vinegar Syndrome. They Look Like People. I've been hearing this is actually a pretty cool, like, psychological horror flick. Hopefully it's not too artsy. So we'll see. If anybody's seen this one, let me know. I've been hearing on and offs on it. Another upgrade from an old Anchor Bay. We have Transylvania 6 5000. This is a funny horror comedy from the 80s. You got Jeff Goldblum in there. Ed Bagley Jr., Michael Richards, a bunch of others. So yeah, I've seen this movie before. It's funny. I had a good time with it. So I figured I'm buying it. I'm upgrading the old Anchor Bay DVD, and I'm keeping that old Anchor Bay. From Shudder, we have VHS 94. This is the 4th installment in the VHS anthology series. This one actually wasn't bad. There was some cool stories. The one with the rat god in the sewers was pretty cool. I did like the mutilation, turned people into robots. That was a long segment, but it was pretty badass how things played off. Kind of reminded me of like Frankenstein's army, Asian style. So yeah, you got that in there. There's a couple other cool stories to it, but that one was very gory, very destructive. So yeah, VHS 94. You can still probably kept this on Shudder, but I figured I've owned the first three, gotta own the fourth. Since the third one wasn't that great. Next up, we have from what was this? Camp Motion Pictures, or who is this? So Vinegar Syndrome, one of their sub labels. Fuck it. They'll probably come to me later on. And that is Video Massacre. It's Video Murders. It's hard to read the other way. So Video Murders looks like a cool shot-on video slasher flick, maybe. So if anybody's seen this one, let me know. Through Scream Factory. Can't believe we got this on Blu-ray. Watchers Part 2. Had to do it. I love the Watcher movies. I have them all on DVD, and unfortunately Part 1 and 2 are in a double pack, and that double pack is hard to print and hard to find. So they released this one, so I'm hoping to get the rights for Part 1, or someone else gets the rights for Part 1, so we have both of them out, and then 3 and 4 can get their rights as well. Very underrated creature features, guys. Dean Koontz did the book, and the book is more like Part 2. Or I should say, Part 2 is more like the book. The first one with Corey Haim has nothing to do with the book, except for the outsider monster and the golden lab that's very smart, Einstein. But all the characters are not involved. With Part 2, it's pretty much similar to the book. So I thought that was kind of neat. And I love these movies. Part 3 is kind of like a Predator ripoff, where they're actually out in the woods and fighting the monster that way. And 4 was done through like the Sci-Fi Channel. So yeah, Watchers 2 on Blu-ray. I don't think it has any features or anything. This was through their website. So if you want to get it, you have to get through their website. And lastly, we had through Tokyo Shock. Finally came in. Yeah. Zarium. It's the 30th anniversary. It's kind of like the Asian Terminator, I heard. I don't know. We'll see how this goes. And of course, we have Part 2. Zarium Part 2. So we'll see how these go. They finally came in. One was kind of like weird, ordered through a third party. I was kind of weird on that. But anyway, that's it for the haul, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know down in the comments down below your thoughts on these movies. Again, sorry I had to do them Part 2, but my stupidness did something to do with the battery. So I got a full battery charge. So let me know in the comments down below, guys, your thoughts on these movies. If again, I haven't seen them and you have, let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and read the comments down below. Again, thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and later, guys. Peace.